Hello, everybody. It's me. And of course, you know it, I'm back. I've had a very busy week at my job, and I've done some consulting for two different estates, and one is on the proud shores of Lake Erie, and the house is from 1926, and the treasures in it are fantastic. So hopefully I will get that sale and be able to bring that to you in the very near future. So I want to thank you all for joining me. I want to thank you all for subscribing. Before I started recording, I am in a very strange mood today. I don't know how to explain it, but I will just say that being here with you is a gigantic reward, and I thank you again so much for joining me. In the coming videos, I've decided to try and redo my backdrop behind me, and also redo the blue room that I normally record from. So hopefully you'll see some new decorative arts in the back of my videos to keep it fresh, because I have so much to choose from. I thank you again so much. A special thank you, and again, you know how I don't like to single a certain person out, but a gigantic thank you to Jewel Jet. I am not really that familiar with Jewel Jet, but you know why I'm so grateful for you. You made a very generous donation to my channel through one of my videos, and I just thank you so much. So again, not to single somebody out, but Jewel Jet, thank you so much for your support. It was a strange day for me that day, and seeing that made me super happy. I felt very appreciated, and I feel appreciated by all of you. So I didn't want to bring a ton of stuff, but I wanted to bring out some of my enameled purses. This is a Wedding in Davis, and this one's from around 1926. Maybe 1927. But the enameling on this one, the frame being enameled and the bag being enameled, I loved the composition and I love the color combination. I'm a very orange person and I love green, obviously. So orange and green together, really kind of a magical combination, and something that you wouldn't think would normally work. But this lady was for sure, a special gal ahead of her time. But that's fantastic. It's signed on the inside of the frame as well. But since I'm so far away, I can't, show you that. This is one of the Mandalian bags. So this is Mandalian. And this one was from around 1921 or around 1921 or 1923, from what I remember. Oh, look, there's a dog fur on it. Every video I have, there's a dog fur on something, but that's just the way of my life. If there wasn't, something would be wrong. I liked the silver-plated frame. I love the color combination. So you have this turquoise and kind of a muted orange on like an off-white background, and I really loved the composition and the delicate nature of this. Very beautiful, and these kind of reminded me of the decorative rugs, the if you will, Oriental rugs of the time. And then I loved those kind of elongated shaped drops that all of them were there, and that's fantastic. Boy, do I look tired today. It's my eyes. I definitely need a nap, but I had to come on here and see you for a couple of minutes before I decided to retire for a nap before my marathon evening. I'll probably be up this evening until 4 or 4:30 in the morning working. And, do I overwork myself? Probably. I probably do. But there's that. And this is Mandalian as well. And Mandalian bags, I just loved the way that they were created. And let me see if I can get the signature. There you go. It's right there. And I hope you all can see that. I hope it focuses on that. There we go. Hopefully it focuses on that and not me. But this had the original lining. Most of the linings inside of these purses are gone. And as purse collectors, we understand, that they're not going to last. They were a rayon or a silk, and this one is in the rayon family, or a rayon blend. But the pearlized surface on this and the condition of these bags really had me happy, because you can see a little bit of staining right there. That could be from cigarette burn. It's quite possible. But look at the detail and each little tile. You know, this is like a micro mesh on this one because the tiles, let me show you that. The tiles are much smaller on this one than they are on this one. So you can see the size difference on the little tiles that make these bags up. But yeah, I loved that one. And the handle, it's just so sophisticated and just beautiful. And I love the way these bags move. And again, every little drop is still there. So the drops are complete. And I really loved the attention to detail to finish the bottom of the bags as much as that ornate frame at the top. And that's also cold painted enamel. So when we talk about enamels, I guess I can clarify that now. We have glass enamel that's fired onto metal. And then we have cold painted enamel that is painted on and not fired. And this is cold painted enamel, both on the mesh and also on the frame. So that's cold painted enamel. And it's polychrome, so multiple color, and just extremely well done, you know. So there's that one. And then just two more. And then we'll progress on to another part of the video here in a second. That's turquoise and off-white on black. Again, I loved the color combination, but look at the movement of the fringe. You know, when this woman was dancing in the 1920s or 30s, she had great movement and great flair to her outfit by having this bag. You know, and it's all complete. And again, sometimes I'll have to restore the fringe. So I'll use bags that are damaged, and then I will most certainly use fringe and add it to this fringe. So I loved the composition on this one. Again, it was kind of an all-over design, yet still very well thought out with these almost stylized lotus blossoms at the top. Silver-plated frame. And again, by Mandalian. And it's signed on the inside of the frame. They're almost always signed up on this top edge. And sometimes, let's see here. This one's, yeah, it's signed, but I think it might be signed on the side. I still can't see it. It's because the ring light is so bright in my eyes right now. So we'll set that aside. And then there was this one. And this is, again, it kind of goes on the opposite color spectrum of that. So that's why I kept this one. Again, with these enamel bags, I was over 100 at some point, and I loved the difference of the patterning and the colors and the compositions on them. And this one, yeah, here we go. See, it's just that it's so small. It's right there, and hopefully you can see that. And again, watch the condition on these, because in this kind of armpit area, I know it's a terrible term, but there's really nothing else to call it. You can't really call it shoulders. That would be better. But see how there's like a little bit of openness there? That's about as far gone as I would recommend having them. The normal size of the hole is a little bit smaller than this. So that definitely has separated from the frame. So just be careful of that area, because that's normally where these bags will really start to wear. So just a helpful hint. And advanced collectors know that, but to novice collectors and someone who's just starting, just watch the condition of the bags, that's all. And I love the fringe, I loved the color, and again, both sides beautifully done, and kind of a pearlescent background, and then the fuchsia and the pink and this kind of muted golden color. It all worked very well together, you know, and nothing says Art Deco more than this, you know, more than these color combinations, and more than kind of the way that this is constructed. So yeah, it brought me very much so happiness. I think my camera angle is very strange. It's like you're looking down inside of my mouth today. I don't know how to fix that sometimes. So this bracelet came back to me. This I had made for a friend, and she had passed away, and I'd mentioned her in past videos, and I thought that I would never see this bracelet again, but she gave me the lucite bracelet, and then she asked me to stud it with my usual silver discs and enamel, and I never thought I would see this one again. But the deep rope twist, and I loved the color play of that pearlized white with the red, but I thought that out, and she wore that frequently, and it came back to me. And it's kind of interesting thing when you think you make something and you don't think you'll see it again, and then, you know, you see it again. You know, for me as an artist, when I give birth to something, I don't expect to necessarily see it again. And so that was I don't want to say strange or jarring, but a little bit strange and a little bit upsetting to me that, you know, I'd released it out into the world, and that it's okay that it found its way back to me. And I was very happy to see it again. So, and this, I'm trying to figure out what to do, but I think I'm going to sell it, and then I'm going to donate the money to one of the many charities that I've been helping lately. So why we're here, Mexican sterling bracelets in my collection, and there's so many. And I was going to go camera down with this, but I think I'm just going to go camera up. This one is rosewood and sterling, more contemporary. So this is from the late 80s, early 90s. It's made like a William Spratling design, but it's not Spratling. The mark is too new, and I should take these over to the light box, but I'm just going to share this with you and spend a couple minutes here with you. But that was rosewood and sterling. I will bring these to the light box at a later time, but I just wanted to share these with you really quick. This one is an older version. This is from probably the 30s or 40s, and this is Mexican silver. Again, all of these bracelets that I'm going to show you right now are Mexican, and I've collected Mexican silver bracelets for basically the whole time I've been doing this, so around 22 to 24 years. And I will discuss values, the good, better, and best, and also the ebb and flow of the prices that we've seen over the years, and the things that have controlled the market, and also how difficult it was to find these. And now it's difficult, but there are ways to find them. This one's from, again, the 40s. And that one is amethyst and sterling. And look at how pale the amethyst is in the center of that one. And they were just using the stones that they could find. But the sterling mounting, I loved the design. I loved the craft. I loved how it was put together. And the solder seams are really magnificent. And this one made me so happy to wear. And I would wear these 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 at a time. I mean, I would have them all the way up to here. And my wrists are very small. They're tiny little wrists, even though I have these gigantic hands. But this is sterling. And there's a story behind this one as well. My friend Marjorie gave this to me years ago to kind of kick off my collection of early Mexican, and this one's from the late 20s, early 30s, and you can tell by the construction that it's very old. It's only marked silver in Mexico right there, so very, very, very old, very reminiscent of Art Deco. And they were looking at those designs, and there's a tiny little dent in there. Never bothered me. The oxidation is so uneven. That didn't bother me either, and I wore this a lot. So I'll tell you a little secret about this. When this came to me, the reason why she gave it to me is the clasp was missing. So the clasp, this hook right here, was gone. So the only thing that was there is just from there to there. So that's all that was there. And I came home, I raced home because I was so excited that she gave it to me. I was like absolutely thrilled that she gave it to me. And I constructed that. And I even, because the way I am as an artist, I specifically dented that first one so that it looked original. I oxidized it the same. I rolled it over the exact same. See how I matched that kind of roll right there, that links? I mimicked that, folded it over, and I created this whole part right here. So from here to here is me. That's me. And I dented that one, so it matched the dent there. And then to put it on, you would just get it to that side of your wrist, and then it would go on just perfect. And it was the right size, gave me plenty of room to wear it. And that was one of my favorites for a long time. And you know what? I guess I'm going to leave it on. I wasn't going to, but thank you, Marjorie, for the generous gift back then. And these are beautiful amethyst cabochons. That one is also sterling, very old Mexican. Could be as old as the late 30s, but probably 40s or 50s on the way that is constructed. And I'll go over that again. And then this is more of a primitive kind of fold over clasp on this one. And you can see why I synthesized that little kind of scroll. That was on there. I didn't make this one, so that was already on there. So there's that one. I'm already getting distracted, but thank you again so much for joining me. This one is turquoise, but I think, yeah, I did. Once I found it in turquoise, I wanted it in amethyst. And they reminded me of like owl faces. I know that's probably not what they were going for, like frog faces, but it just looked like, but I know that's like just leaves and probably berries. But those two together, I would wear those two together very frequently. And I'll get into, I've been questioned how I decided on a daily basis what I wore and how I wore it. And I find that to be interesting. And I love watching other people describe how they decided what to wear and when to wear it and how they put things together. So there are those two. This one, the amethyst one, no. No. How did I do this? I forget which one came first now. I think this one came first. Yes, the turquoise came first and the amethyst came second. And this one was by chance. This was at the thrift. I get so excited I trip over. This was at the thrift for about $18. And now I wouldn't sell that for less than probably $200 because of how complex it is. And again, the marking on this one, very, very early Mexican, only marked Mexico on one of those links right there. But you can tell in construction that has a lot of age. But I would pile those on. I would probably wear all three of those together. So there we go. There's those two. And then I had a problem. I mean, I have a lot of problems apparently, but if you saw this box, I'm not going to get through all of them, but if you saw the box, you would say, what on earth are you doing? Look at these frogs. So these are amethyst frog bracelets. And again, why I bought two of them was I would pair it with this. So I would wear the two frogs, and I usually would wear them in opposite directions. That was just me. And so I'd wear them facing in opposite directions, and I would wear that large chevron amethyst bracelet in the center. So those three are Mexican, but the carvings on the frogs were fantastic. And I forget the designer that did, I don't know if it was Los Castillo or William Spratling, but they did carved amethyst frogs. And these I don't think are. This one is signed there on the clasp right there. Boy, my camera's keeping up with me tonight. This is pretty remarkable. But I should take these over to the light box. And again, in the next video, I will. I had every intention to go over to the light box and do this in the light box. And then you know how I function. It's malfunction sometimes. So today was no. I want to show you that one again close up. Look how they cut those amethyst stones. And they gave them 4 facets, like diamond shape, and I loved how they were off center, so when you would wear it, but look at those two together. I loved those two together because the domed portions kind of talked to one another. They had a conversation and they related to each other. And then here's the other frog one, and these were just darker and different, and slightly different, a little less stylized. And then there's the maker's mark right there. I think that might be Carmen Beckman. Again, I don't want to say for sure, but I'll look it up. I believe that to be Carmen Beckman's work, who I absolutely loved as an artist. And there were some Mexican artists as today that were not as thought of back in the day, and it bothered me because as a silversmith, it bothered me to see some people's work that was incredible not being appreciated. But that was just me. This, I don't know how I got this all tangled up. Here I go struggling. All right, I'm just gonna, I don't want to get frustrated on camera. It's an ID bracelet, but look how wide those links are, and they're all jumbled up, but look how wide the links are. Exceptional craft. And great. And I never minded wearing someone else's initials on jewelry. I just didn't. I still don't. I feel like I can relate to the last person who owned it and honor them by wearing something that they put their initials on. There's a tie between us and them. This is amethyst and sterling, again, Mexican. Really fantastic craft. And I love the way they bezel set the amethysts. And I loved the color of the amethyst on this one. And yeah, the box clasp is definitely original on that. But yeah, it's so cool, and I loved the high dome of those. That's fantastic and beautiful, and I love the flower shape of the metal. This one I kept because it was just far too stunning as a plain bracelet. It's tank link, and it's kind of machine age nod. Really got me, and I loved the hidden clasp. So anytime you can hide a clasp by putting that right in there and detailing it so it's just hidden, and there's the clasp right there, so you lift that off and then you can get it open. So there you go. And as I continue to struggle. But I loved it, and I still do, and I still wear that one. But Mexican and quite old. That one's probably 50s. It might be 40s, but 50s. This one I kept. I don't get into the black onyx or obsidian very often. This is obsidian, and you can tell the difference between black onyx and obsidian. This one has that sheen. You can see that iridescence. And some people call it chatoyance. I don't think I'd go that far with that one, but I guess you still technically could. But you can see that, and that's definitely obsidian. And you can do your own research on obsidian. It's a fascinating stone, and I put quotes around stone, but it's a fascinating material that Mexicans loved using. I do have one in black onyx. I didn't put it in this box, but that is obsidian, and the silver on that. I loved where they, look at that, how they put a spiral in between, so they didn't leave that plain. They could have just left that plain like on the end here. See how that's just plain? They could have left that link plain, but it would not have had that much of, to me, it wouldn't have been that successful. It just wouldn't have been. But yeah, that one, you know, and I guess I could wear it over here. I could pile them on like I always do. And I think people think that when I come on video, I wish, well, my friends that live here, they'll come on and they'll testify that I look like a Christmas tree anywhere I go. I've always thought that, like, you know, people say less is more. I don't agree with that. But that's amethyst and sterling. Again, very wide. And this one came to me by a friend. She was at, I think it was either at Goodwill. It was somewhere, and I don't think this one was marked. Or if it was, it's very difficult. Oh, it's marked here, but it's very difficult to read. It's very worn off right there. Says probably silver in Mexico. She found that for me, and I paid literally nothing for it. But look how wide and fantastic. You know, is it Egyptian? No, but it sure does, with its zigzag back and forth, it sure does look very, you know, Egyptian style, you know, and these way that the granulation is applied to the surface, and then these wire worked pieces. But I loved its up and down. There you go. So again, I thank you so much for bearing with me. About 20 minutes in, and I just don't. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know when to stop. And there's that. And again, soldered together beautifully. I'm getting a call, and I can barely see the phone. So just give me 1 sec while this clears out. I hope I'm still recording. I hope I'm still recording. There we go. The phone call cleared out. I put do not disturb, but it took up the whole screen. So sorry, I blacked out there for a second. And I'm not going to hit re-record because I don't have the time. Floral on the links. And then in between these luscious and gemmy and beautiful amethyst cabochons. So again, this one focused on amethyst and silver. And then I had tons of, and still have tons of, the Mexican filigree. And some people will say that's Portugal or Portuguese. Not on this one. It's sterling, and it's Mexican and wide and fantastic, and love it, love it, love it. And this one as well. This one is Mexican, and the work that it took to get that one together. So fantastic, and love it. And I bought it from the woman who bought it in Tosco, and I love it. Absolutely love that one. So those two gigantic versions. Oh, and then another amethyst one that was hiding in this gigantic box in front of me. And I love the hidden clasp on this. So again, we look at the attention to detail, and look how that kind of snaps together there, and kind of it's designed so it doesn't just look like a clasp like stuck on something. So I love that. I absolutely loved it. And look at the rope twist design on that one. And you have to remember, these are so chunky and so thick-walled. So the New Mexican silver that you're seeing, I don't have any problem with New Mexican silver at all. I actually like some of the more contemporary pieces, but the older always got me going, and made me really happy. So there's that. And I loved, look how it looks great with my bracelet, my other bracelet that I always have on. And I love the thickness of the metal. I don't know, I get lost in these things. Oh, and then this doesn't belong in here. This one, I don't know how it made it in here. This one, I think it's Finland. Look how I'm squinting again. I think it's Finland or Denmark, but that's modernist. Brutalist, modernist, but more brutalist. and sterling. And I'm going to do a video on Brutalist Silver because I've had so many requests for it. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to leave it at that. I guess I was going to pause this and go over to the light box. I think I'm going to call it. I think I'm going to say that I've had an amazing, amazing, amazing discussion with all of you. I have another box situated right off camera that I wish I could get to, but I'm not going to be able to. I guess I should just say thank you so much. I'm so incredibly grateful for your patience with me and your kindness and your constant loving support. The comments and the way you've treated me has been, again, something that makes me extremely happy. I am going to go take a nap. I need a nap. You can see in my eyes, very, very worn out, spiritually, a little tested still. And hopefully I can get the camera angle right so you're not like staring down my mouth all the time. And hopefully the light didn't flash me out and shine my face too much. So again, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I hope you have a fantastic evening. I will be back with you very, very soon. I have a big plan for a video coming out on Saturday, and I hope that works. So please pay attention to Saturday. It should be fantastic and something that I haven't done just yet. So hopefully that works out, and I might change my mind and do a different one. So, but thank you for bearing with me. I really appreciate it. Please, as always, please hit the subscribe button and please hit the notification bell because a lot of people have not been getting notified of my videos. So thank you again so much. I appreciate you. I love you. I'll let you go. Mwah. Goodbye. See you.